this travesty mean for the future of our republic? Here to answer that question, former acting U.S. Attorney General Matt Whitaker. Matt, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Long after Trump is gone, whether he's reelected or serves 2 terms, what happens next? If this is what you can do to upend a presidency?
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of payback. You're going to see a future Republican House Speaker that's going to be able to declare a impeachment inquiry and then follow it up with exactly what's happening right now. Secret testimony, selective leaking to preferred outlets, and I think it's not good for the Republic, especially 13 months before we have another election. And it's from what I can tell and from my experience, really a lifetime in this game, both in state of Iowa and in Washington D.C. This is just not good for the Republic.
Well, and it's corrosive, and yet those who are perpetrating it cast themselves as the white knights in this. They're saving the Republic from the man whose policies they disagree with so vehemently and whose tone and whose demeanor they have utter disdain for. I really go back to that. They never saw him as legitimate. The insurance policy of Peter Strzok failed. Mueller failed. And now they're on to the next thing.
Well, and these global elitists, these careerists have made promises to and have set in place a world establishment that operated a certain way. And President Trump has asked questions like, why do we do this way? Why don't people pay? Why doesn't Germany and France, why don't they pay 2% into NATO? And these kind of questions, which again has completely upset the apple cart, he is being punished for this. And again, I'm a former prosecutor, and what I know is this is a perfect time for a preliminary hearing, where you would say, show us your evidence. What evidence of a crime do you have? I mean, the Constitution, sort of abuse of power is not a crime. Let's fundamentally boil it down to, the Constitution is very clear that this has to be some pretty egregious behavior. And they cannot tell the American people what this case is even about right now, because they have to do it in secret.
Yeah, and I'm reading this Bill Taylor opening statement, and my first reaction was anything that's 15 pages, single space. It's like someone who has to put their resume on 2 or 3 pages. That's never someone you want to hire, by the way. So 15 endless pages of blah, blah, blah. It was on and on. But most of it is third and fourth hand recounting of he told him, and then he told him, and then the president told him, but I disagree with that. Laura, that's basically how it goes.
We have the transcript of the phone call. We have the primary evidence, which is all in prosecuting a case you would put in front of the jury. You don't need witnesses that know of the evidence when you have the evidence. And so, as I look at this, again, this Congress, Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats are convinced they're going to impeach the president. They think this is the next best thing after the Mueller investigation failed, and they learned the lesson that if they do it fast, before everybody catches up and actually the evidence is distilled down to a prosecutable case, then maybe they can pull this one off. But again, I think until we get through 2020, this is unfortunately our new world that we live in, and I fear that it's going to be our future.
What about the White House's response thus far? There's been some concern there's not a war room up and running. People are afraid, well, war room sounds like it's just kind of good to have coordinated effort, coordinated message of the day. I mean, the Democrats have a message of the day, and they all get parroted by the media. Right. And what is the message of the day, or is that even appropriate here?
From what I can tell, you don't need a war room, and you have a warrior. And this president is going to fight this. This is the fight. He understands what's at stake, and he's going to take his case to the American people. And I have a lot of confidence, having served in his cabinet, that he's going to be able to communicate what's at stake here. And I think the American people are going to respond.
This is the revenge of the global elites.
It really is.
And the media didn't like being called fake news, and they feel like they're getting, this is like payback. And then the elites are like, no, you're coming into my world now. Okay, that's how I see it. Matt, great to see you, as always. Thanks so much for coming in tonight.